Welcome to Run the World, the all-in-one platform that enables the most engaging, social, and interactive virtual experiences to meet all your conference and large event needs. Our platform has hosted up to 10,000 attendees for organizations like Harvard, the United Nations, Facebook, Overtime Media, and many more. We pride ourselves to be easy to use, easy to access, and easy to build new connections at a virtual event. In this video, we will be looking at all the conference features on Run the World. Whether you are hosting a single-track event with a few hundred attendees or a multi-track, multi-day event with thousands, you will be able to better understand how to create the perfect event for you. Run the World is a one-stop shop that covers the full life cycle of a virtual event. We handle everything from pre-event registration, tiered ticketing, customizable landing page creation, in-event video, live streaming, and recording, parallel sessions, pre-recorded content, virtual networking, detailed performance analytics, and mailing list building, all plus a few other features included. To start, I want to show you how easy it is to create a conference on Run the World. Once you have an account, all you have to do is log in and select Create a Conference. So we'll sign in here. It'll take us directly to the organizer dashboard, and we will start creating. Now that we're at the organizer dashboard, the first thing that we're going to do is go to Create Event, and we're going to select Host a Conference, since right now we're going through the conference product. Here, you'll just put in the title of your conference, description, any tags, so anything that you want, if you're trying to get your event to be recognized by a specific category. For example, if you use auto, boat and air, business and professional, etc. We have a few different categories you can add in there to make it more discoverable. If you scroll down, you'll even be able to obviously set in the date and time. So whether this was a one-day event for a few different hours, or if this was a very much a larger event, multiple days, for example, you can set the start date and the end date to whatever date and time you'd like it to be. You can also set the time zone to any sort of time zone as well. So whether it's yours or elsewhere, to make that easy for your attendees, depending on where your event is being held. Then lastly, you'll be able to choose public or unlisted. All this is, if it's a public event, it can be featured up on our Explore page on the website, where you can feature it and allow other Run the World users to see different upcoming events that are coming on. Otherwise, you can just leave it as unlisted. That means it's going to be completely private, and only those who you share the link with will be able to actually register for that event. All you're going to do next is click Create an Event. And it takes you into what we call kind of the manage event space, where you're going to start really building out the rest of our event. This first part is a lot of just what we filled out before with our title, our description, everything else. One thing that you do notice here, and this is the first big recommendation we always make, is make sure you're changing this cover media from the Run the World logo to your guys' own. It's the first thing people are going to see when you actually are at the landing page, which I'll show you in just a little bit here. So really make sure you change that so you can highlight your own logo instead of Run the World's. Next tab we have is our speakers tab. So a speaker in Run the World is anyone who is defaulted up on screen during any of the sessions within your event. It's super easy to add a speaker. All you have to do is click the add speaker button, upload a photo, some sort of profile picture usually for that speaker. I'll just say speaker name to demonstrate what that looks like, as well as a title and a bio, just so you see where those show up. Then you'll put in the email of your speaker, so I'll just do support@runtheworld.today. Just use our support's email, but obviously you'd put in your own, and then that's how easy it is to add in a speaker. So if you have a very large event and you have a bunch of different speakers, you'll just be able to keep on adding in those different speakers here. Next is our tickets tab. With Run the World, you can do tiered ticketing. So whether you just hosted a free event, or if you had maybe a free, a regular, and a VIP ticket, you can get creative and build this out however you'd like. So if you were planning on charging a few different tiers, you can include those, and also limit different sessions based on, for example, only VIP people can access a certain session. You can do all of that as well, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second within our agenda tab. But it's very easy. You'll just set out the currency. You'll set out the price of whatever you want that VIP ticket, for example, to look like, and also you'll be able to set the number of tickets for each of those as well. Over in the agenda tab, here's where we kind of go into the meat a little bit of actually building out this event. This is obviously called the agenda tab for a reason, because you're going to be having all your different sessions here within the tab. So for example, maybe it's going to start off with Ryan, myself talking, so we can call it a talk format. When people always they click the format tab, you see there's talk, fireside chat, cocktail party, or panel. The only big difference between the talk, fireside chat, and cocktail party are just the number of speakers involved. A talk is just one speaker, so if this was a talk session, it just had one person in there. There's a talk. If we had a fireside chat, that would be two speakers, so you could have a moderator and then any sort of guest here. So you could have our speaker name as our guest. And then a panel, up to 16 people. Same thing, you'd have your moderator. The moderator is just responsible for starting the stream, and then all the other speakers, all these people would be defaulted on screen. So it's really up to you on how you want to set that up there. But you'll be able to go add in as many sessions as you'd like, even control who joins those different sessions. So for example, if we just wanted VIP people, I went control who can join, specific ticket holders, VIP. You can also set passcodes in the sessions, a different way to limit them. So if we had the password here as password, only people who had that passcode would be able to join, and that would kind of show up as a private session and would prompt people to put in that passcode. So there are kind of a few different ways you can always limit who has access to different sessions. But you just go through it and build out your event there, and it's pretty easy from there. And for those who are newer to Run the World, you wouldn't have noticed the difference, but all of you that are returning, notice now we have a whole new booths tab. This is kind of a part of our sponsor features and exhibition hall update that we have created. So in the past, the booths also appeared within the agenda, but now we have our own booths section. Here, we're going to put in a cover photo as well as a logo now. So for example, if we were doing this kind of as a sponsor booth, we have the Run the World in the background. Maybe I had a different Run the World logo that I wanted to choose as the actual logo of the booth here. You'd set up a booth name, so I can call it Run the World Booth. About, I can say, here is our sponsor booth, just to show you where that text shows up again. You'll be able to set the time of this to whenever you'd like, so this could be, maybe just during the lunch hour, or maybe for the entire event, or one each day. It really depends on how you guys would like to do that. Then with the representative, you'll obviously put in whoever's actually manning this booth. And then voila, we'll show you where this shows up, but now there's a complete separate space for you to highlight those sponsor booths or any sort of other exhibition hall like I mentioned before. And then obviously you'd have to now add in those sponsors into our sponsor tab if we were using that as a sponsor booth. So I'll just keep using that same logo. It's gonna show up a few different times. Apologies if that's confusing, but you'll be able to put in any sort of sponsor name. So I can say sponsor name here, link. If I had the Run the World link, you could post it here and make all the logos clickable. And then marketing message, I'll just say message just so you guys see where that shows up. And you'll be able to add in as many sponsors as you'd like and add in as many booths as you'd like. I'll click publish briefly to save. I'll keep going before I show us the landing page because there's a few other things I always like to highlight. So we just went across the top, had all those different tabs here. Here's that kind of landing page link that I'll show us in just a second. But there are a few different other steps when actually creating a conference. First one over here is the attendees tab. Here you'll be able to either import attendees by just copying and pasting a CSV file of their emails, or if you did use Run the World's registration system, you'll be able to see all those attendees show up here. Survey, all this is creating a registration survey. So as people register on Run the World, you can add in whatever either built-in questions if you're looking for name or email, occupation, etc. Or you can add in your own custom questions, ask whatever you'd like, and that would be required to be filled out to actually register for the event. So that's always a good thing to see there. We have our messages. This hasn't changed at all. You can always send out emails before the event. Make these, maybe they're reminder emails, maybe you're making exciting announcements, whatever it is. You have the freedom to schedule those however you'd like. The Insights tab, this is for after the event. You'll be able to see some new metrics like who actually viewed the event, how many people tried to register, how many tickets were actually sold. You'll get event reports on interaction, how many people actually showed up, number of people that met someone else. Revenue report, obviously if you're charging for tickets, you'll be able to kind of see how all that revenue came in there. Attendee intelligence, seeing who's most engaged, see who keeps coming back for more of your events. Sponsor insights, showing you all all metrics around how many people are clicking and seeing those logos that appear. Very, very helpful for your sponsors. And then poll data and comments, the comment section for each of those sessions, as well as the poll data if you were using Run the World polls throughout any of your sessions. And then lastly, since we're going through everything, you can add in pre-recorded videos here under the More tab. You'll also be able to see all the different recordings of your conference here in the Recordings tab, where you can download them, you can make them invisible, or keep them visible forever on Run the World if you'd like. Branding, this is where you can actually add in, so you see this Run the World logo on the top left. Well, if you want to put in your own branding, you can just add in your own logo, and that Run the World logo would disappear during your event, and you can have your own. You can always customize the event URL, so this is just that landing page that I'll show you in just a second. You can customize the ending of it to have it end as whatever you'd like. And then if you were charging, you can always create a promotion code as well there. You can create as many promo codes as you'd like and kind of customize that as you please. But let's go back to our actual landing page here and see what we just built. Alrighty, so here we are. We have our title of our event. We have that big Run the World logo where I was emphasizing to definitely change that. One other thing, since we're right here, you can actually change these theme colors to whatever you want as well to match that Run the World logo. I'll just leave ours as is since that does match it pretty well. The first thing we're going to scroll and see is a thank you to our sponsors. So we had that sponsor name, that little marketing message that appears, and this would be clickable if I added a link there. That's where that shows up. Then we have our speakers. So we have both our two speakers that we added in the speaker section, as well as the booth speaker. The booth speaker, that'll just show the logo. I know they're the same, so it is a little confusing. Those will just show up at the bottom. Just another place for those booths to kind of be showcased, those different logos of your organizations. The agenda, so I have a few Ryan's talks here is all I did within the agenda. Didn't get too creative there. But the big change is here we have our new booths. So you'll be able to see, all right, we just added our one Run the World booth, but if you had many different sponsor booths, for example, they'd all be kind of separated and highlighted down here. And then obviously this is where people would register and then be able to enter the event once they actually have a ticket. So here I am entering the event. We'll let it load super fast. You'll be able to see first little sponsored by section, so you'll still have all those different logos if I added in more, obviously. We'll have our sessions, so I just added in a couple different sessions here, but you'll be able to see your entire event sessions, and then you'll be able to see all the different booths that you add into Run the World as well. And so that's kind of how they would look when you're actually within the event. You'll be able to preview and go into any of these. And here you are in a Run the World talk room. I won't go into too much detail here. Take a look at another one of our videos to really dive into all the details within the talk room. To highlight a few things, there is the sponsor pop-up that shows up there, so it had our sponsor name. This is where I would appear as a speaker defaulted on stage. A few things just to kind of briefly go over. You can always share screen like any other platform. Managing the mic, our grab the mic feature, people can come up onto stage as an attendee and actually kind of appear with the speakers up on stage. We have our magic feature box that includes music intros, a poll questions, stretch breaks, our call to action linking people to external websites, our group feed, which is a fun commemorative way to kind of remember events, our sponsor shout out, bringing up those sponsor logos again, our donation function if you were trying to use donations, maybe you were raising funds for any sort of really whatever it was, you can add any sort of donation in there. Share video is just an opportunity for you to, instead of obviously using our music intro, you can actually upload your own videos. So maybe you have pre-recorded content of any kind, you'll be able to share that all there. Our cocktail party, our famous one-on-one speed networking, our roundtable, which is our more group-based discussion, our group-based networking. We have our emojis down at the bottom, our comment section. Like I said, if you want to see details and all that, I'll link a video to that below. But that is how you create a conference on Run the World. I hope this was helpful, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free, I'll also link down office hours at the bottom. Feel free to come by and talk to myself a few times a week. You'll be able to really explore kind of joining an event as a speaker, as an attendee, and see what it's like to kind of experience an event live on Run the World.